chosen one. Stop for a moment. Breathe deeply. Feel how the air shifts around you, how time itself seems to slow. This is not coincidence. Heaven has paused its rhythm because something sacred is unfolding for you tonight. There are rare moments when all of creation holds its breath, waiting for a divine word to be spoken. This is one of those moments. The sky looks the same. The world keeps moving. Yet in the unseen realm, there is movement, holy, precise, unstoppable. Angels stand on assignment, waiting for the signal that your time has come. You have felt it, haven't you? That quiet pull in your soul, the sense that something greater is near. The sleepless nights, the moments when your chest felt heavy but your spirit refused to give up. All of it has been leading here. You are standing on sacred ground. It is written in the book of Psalms, chapter 46, verse 10. Be still and know that I am God. Stillness is not silence. It is surrender wrapped in strength. It is the calm before heaven speaks, like the ocean's hush before a mighty wave. This stillness around you is loaded with power. God is near. The same power that spoke galaxies into being is now focusing its gaze on your life. Every closed door, every delayed dream, every unanswered prayer has been preparation. You thought you were being buried. You were being planted. You thought you lost your way. God was guiding you through shadows to teach you how to hear His whisper. The night you are in is not a punishment. It is the stage before divine unveiling. There's a throne room in heaven where your name has been spoken tonight. It was not whispered. It was declared. The King of Glory has turned His face toward you and said, "Now, oh, you may still feel small. You may still feel unqualified. But chosen ones are never picked because of strength. They are chosen because of surrender. The oil of destiny always flows on those who are willing to kneel." Close your eyes for a second. Imagine the heavens watching, every angel silent, the stars leaning closer. God looks upon you, not with disappointment, but with delight. You made it through storms that should have destroyed you. You survived battles that others never understood. And tonight, heaven crowns that endurance with purpose. The voice inside you that whispers, "I was made for more," has been right all along. It wasn't pride, it was prophecy. The breaking you endured was only the sound of chains snapping. What once made you cry is now becoming your testimony. Do you feel that stirring inside your chest? That is not emotion, it's activation. Something ancient, something eternal is awakening. Heaven is not asking you to perform. Heaven is asking you to say yes. Look at your life right now. The fragments are aligning. The patterns are revealing meaning. What looked like detours were actually divine coordinates, guiding you to this exact night. Everything is converging under the same truth. God has not forgotten you. He has been preparing you. You were never random. You were never overlooked. You were chosen to be light when the world grew dim. And tonight, that light begins to burn brighter. The stillness you feel is the breath before breakthrough. The silence of heaven is not distance, it's anticipation. You are the vessel heaven has chosen to move through. Next. Now listen closely. This moment isn't about what you've lost, it's about what's about to begin. Stand still in your room, your car, wherever you are, and whisper, "I am ready." Let that declaration travel upward like incense. Heaven hears it. If this message resonates deep in your spirit, Don't keep it to yourself. Click like as a symbol of agreement. Share this light so others can wake with you. And subscribe to walk with this flow of divine messages that are only just beginning. Then comment the number 444 below. It's your prophetic mark tonight, a sign that you are in alignment with the move of God. The night ahead will not end in darkness. Something eternal begins now. Stand still. Chosen one. Heaven has gone silent for one reason. It's your turn to rise. You are not here by mistake. Everything that has happened, every delay and detour, was a rehearsal for this sacred moment. Heaven never wastes a wound. Each scar on your spirit is now a doorway for His glory to shine through. Lift your eyes from the ground. The same God who carved galaxies into space is rewriting your story even now. You are stepping into a chapter that was reserved only for those who refused to quit. Tonight, divine fingerprints are being placed on your destiny. Remember this, the night may still be dark, but dawn has already begun in the unseen. Stand in that light and let your heart whisper once more, I am ready. You were marked long before anyone knew your name, long before your first breath. Heaven had already written your purpose. You did not appear by coincidence. You were sent by design. Even when life tried to erase you, the mark of God remained. Invisible, yet unshakable. There is a story that the world never saw, the story of your becoming. When you were overlooked, heaven was observing. When others dismissed your worth, God was shaping your heart in secret. Every season of waiting was not silence, it was sculpting. Like clay spinning on a potter's wheel, you were being formed by unseen hands that knew exactly what you were meant to become. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah. Chapter 1, verse 5. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. Those words were not only for Jeremiah, they echo for every chosen one. You were known before you were visible. You were set apart before you were capable. Every limitation you carry is the evidence of divine intention, not divine absence. There was once a man who lived in quiet frustration, feeling forgotten by heaven. For years he prayed for purpose, but nothing moved. One night, after another day of disappointment, he cried out, God, have you forgotten me? In the stillness that followed, he felt a whisper, not in his ears, but deep in his spirit. I have been waiting for you to see what I already see. That night, he stopped trying to earn his worth and began to walk in it. From that moment, everything shifted. You, too, have walked through those hidden years, the years of wondering if your prayers evaporate before they reach the sky. But in truth, they were being woven into a larger pattern, one that only heaven could see. The threads of your pain are now becoming the tapestry of your purpose. There are times when being chosen feels more like being forgotten. You see others move ahead while you stand still, watching, waiting. Yet the waiting room of God is never empty. It is full of preparation. Every delay builds depth. Every unanswered prayer teaches trust. And every not yet from heaven is an invitation to grow stronger in silence. You were never meant to blend in. That's why rejection has always felt heavier for you. The world tried to shape you into its image, but heaven refused to let you shrink. The fire that burns within you is not ordinary. It's the same spark that separated prophets from the crowd, the same whisper that called shepherds into kingship. Think of David, tending sheep while others fought for thrones. No one saw his anointing in the pasture, but heaven did. God saw a king long before a crown ever touched his head. And in the same way, heaven has seen you alone, unseen, but not forgotten. The oil of purpose is already waiting for you. It just hasn't been poured yet. When you look back, you'll realize how every heartbreak redirected you. Every loss forced you deeper into your true identity. The relationships that fell away, the dreams that dissolved, they weren't punishment, they were pruning. God removes what hides your roots so that you can grow taller in His light. You have survived too much to still question if you were chosen. The evidence of divine preservation is written all over your life. You've walked through things that should have broken you, yet you're still here. That is not luck, it's calling. Listen, chosen one. The world may label you by your scars, but heaven identifies you by your mark. That mark cannot fade, cannot be stolen, cannot be replaced. It is not a tattoo on the skin, it's an inscription on the soul. Somewhere, in the unseen archives of eternity, there's a scroll with your name written in light. Next to it are words, only heaven can read your purpose, your assignment, your promise, and every day you walk forward in faith. Another line of that promise comes alive. You may not understand why you were set apart, but one day you'll see that the separation was sacred. God hides His treasures before He reveals them. The hidden years were not wasted, they were holy. The mark on your life means you cannot stay where others stop. You cannot settle where others rest. Something in you will always hunger for more truth, more light, more of God. That restlessness is divine. It's not dissatisfaction, it's destiny calling your name. So tonight, as silence fills your room, remember this. You were known before the noise. You were seen before the crowd. You were chosen before you understood what chosen meant. Heaven has had its eye on you since the beginning. And nothing, no mistake, nor failure, no delay can undo what was written about you. You felt it lately, the heaviness pressing down on your chest, the questions that circle your thoughts at night, the exhaustion that no amount of sleep can fix. You've been holding it together, trying to smile while your soul quietly trembles beneath the surface. But listen carefully, this pressure is not punishment. It is the final stretch before breakthrough. Every chosen one meets this moment, the breaking point that tests the core of their faith. It is the place where heaven watches, not to see if you'll fail, but to reveal what was always inside you. Diamonds are not made in comfort, they are born in crushing weight. The pressure you feel is proof that something valuable is being formed. According to what is revealed in the letter of James, chapter 1, verse 3, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. There was once a woman who prayed for years for her life to change. She served others, spoke faith, but deep inside she was tired of waiting, tired of hoping, tired of pretending she was fine. One night she broke down, sobbing on the floor, whispering only one word, "Why?" In that silence, she didn't hear an answer, but she felt peace. It wasn't the end of her struggle, it was the birth of her strength. From that night forward, she stopped trying to escape the fire and began to walk through it. Months later, the same fire that nearly destroyed her became the light that guided others. That's how God works. He takes the breaking point and turns it into the birthplace of your next season. When everything feels like it's falling apart, heaven is actually rearranging it. When doors slam shut, it's not rejection, it's redirection. What feels like loss is often divine alignment. You might feel unseen, unheard, or forgotten right now. But heaven hasn't gone silent. It's strategizing. Just as a seed must split before it can sprout, you too must break open before new life emerges. The breaking is not the end, it's the doorway. Every warrior has a night like this when they question if the promise was real. Even Jesus wept in the garden before his greatest victory. You are not weak for feeling weary. You are human in the process of becoming divine purpose. There's a strange beauty in being at the edge of surrender. When your strength fades, his strength rises. When your plan collapses, his blueprint unfolds. You will look back and realize that what nearly crushed you was actually carrying you toward the crown. Look at your life. You have faced storms that could have swallowed you whole, but you're still standing. That is not a small thing. It's supernatural resilience. Every tear you've cried has watered the soil beneath your feet, and something holy is growing there. The pain you've endured is not wasted. It's prophecy in progress. This is the moment where heaven watches for your response, not your perfection, not your performance, but your decision. Will you still believe when nothing makes sense? Will you still hold on when the light seems dim? Because it's in this in-between space, when faith feels fragile, that destiny begins to solidify. Your heart may feel cracked, but that's how the light gets in. Your soul may be trembling, but trembling faith is still faith. The key is to keep moving, even if all you can do is whisper, "Still, I trust you." And there is a sound in the spirit, the sound of chains beginning to weaken, the sound of angels moving closer. What you call breaking, heaven calls birthing. The pressure you feel is labor, not failure. You are closer than you think. Now, take one deep breath. Wipe your eyes. Look up. The night is almost over. This is not where your story ends. It's where the real story begins. Comment, "I'm still here." Say it not as defiance, but as faith, because every time you speak it, you echo heaven's heartbeat. You declare that no storm, no wound, no delay can erase the mark of God on your life. You are still here, and that means heaven's promise still stands. When you write, "I'm still here," you are not just typing words, you are declaring survival over silence. You are standing as living proof that every weapon formed against you failed. Heaven recognizes that phrase as a banner of endurance, a testimony that the darkness did not win. Each time you say it, the chains of discouragement loosen a little more. It is your reminder that God never left, that grace carried you through every hidden night. You are marking your territory in faith, telling the enemy, "You tried, but I remain." So type it with conviction, not out of emotion, but revelation. Let those words echo in the unseen world. Let them rise like smoke from an altar, announcing that the chosen one has not been defeated, only refined. You're still here, and heaven smiles. The night has its own language, a quiet whisper that only those who have walked through pain can understand. Sometimes it isn't a voice you hear with your ears, but one that hums inside your spirit, steady and clear. It comes when the world finally grows silent, when the noise of others fades, and all that's left is the sound of your heartbeat and heaven's breath. That's when the whisper comes. You have known those hours, the ones when everyone else is asleep and the questions begin to rise like smoke. What if I'm not enough? What if I'm lost? What if I never see the promise? Yet, even in that dark silence, something unseen moves near. The air thickens. The atmosphere changes. That's not loneliness, it's visitation. Heaven draws closer when the world drifts away. Scripture says in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 2, verse 9, an angel of the Lord appeared to them, and the glory of the Lord shone around them, and they were terrified. And there is always light in divine visitation, sometimes soft like candle flame, sometimes fierce like lightning across a midnight sky. But it is never random. When angels appear, when heaven stirs, it means God is announcing a shift. Not every message comes with thunder. Some arrive as a whisper, so gentle you could miss it if your heart isn't still. You might not see wings or hear songs, yet you felt that sudden calm, that unexplainable peace that settles after chaos. That's how heaven speaks most often, not through spectacle, but through stillness. The whisper that says, keep going. The nudge that pulls you away from danger. The quiet comfort that suddenly steadies you when no one else could. Those moments are evidence that you are seen, guided, and guarded. Once, a young man wandered through the lowest valley of his life. He had lost his job, his direction, even his faith. One night, sitting alone under a streetlight, he whispered, "If you're real, I need you to show me." The wind shifted, and a single leaf blew against his hand. It wasn't dramatic, but in that instant, he felt something he hadn't in months: peace. That whisper changed everything. He realized God didn't need to shout. He only needed his attention. So often, we look for miracles in thunder when God prefers to move in whispers. The divine isn't always loud. It's the soft reminder to forgive when bitterness rises. It's the sudden thought to reach out to someone hurting. It's the small voice that says, wait. When impatience begs you to rush, heaven's guidance rarely forces, it invites. Think about your own path. The decisions you made that didn't make sense at the time, but somehow saved you later. The detours that felt frustrating, but ended up leading to safety or blessing. That wasn't coincidence, that was orchestration. The same unseen hand that guided prophets still guides you now. When you feel the whisper, don't rush past it. Stop. Listen. Not every moment of silence is empty. Some silences are filled with instruction. Sometimes the absence of noise is God's way of tuning your spirit to a higher frequency. He doesn't want you to panic, he wants you to perceive. The angelic whisper rarely comes when you're surrounded by people. It comes when you are stripped of distraction, when you finally stop striving long enough for heaven to speak. That's why isolation precedes revelation. God often removes you from the crowd before he releases clarity. And when that clarity comes, it doesn't always explain everything. It simply gives you peace that surpasses understanding. That peace is heaven's signature. It's how you know the message was real. In every generation, there are those who carry messages of light, and you are among them. You've been sensing it without realizing. The thoughts that come during still nights, the unshakable pull towards something higher that is not imagination, that is invitation. Heaven is calling you to listen deeper. When angels whisper, they don't bring new noise, they bring alignment. Their voices adjust the rhythm of your heart to match heaven's. They remind you that you are not lost in chaos, but located by grace. So tonight, if you feel that stirring again, don't fear it. The whisper isn't coming to expose your weakness, it's coming to reveal your worth. It's not announcing the end of your story, it's reminding you that heaven is still writing. Let the silence speak. Let the whisper settle. Somewhere between your breath and the still air around you, heaven is speaking your name. And when it does, don't rush to answer. Let the weight of that moment rest on your soul. The whisper isn't asking for your noise, it's asking for your awareness. Sometimes the most powerful prayer you can pray is quiet, listening. For it is in that holy pause that heaven confirms you were never alone in the dark. Something inside you is waking up. You can feel it, a quiet rumble beneath your ribs. A heartbeat that no longer wants to stay asleep. You've walked through silence, through storms, through the long nights of unanswered prayers. But tonight, something shifts. It is not the world that has changed, it is you. The call to rise has reached your spirit. It doesn't shout, it sings. It hums through your bones, like the sound of morning breaking over the mountains. For too long, you've been kneeling among the ashes, staring at what was lost. But the ashes are not your home, they are the ground where resurrection begins. You have mourned long enough. Now it's time to rise. As written in the book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 1, Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. Oh, the call to rise is not a command to pretend that you're fine. It's an invitation to remember who you are. You were never meant to crawl through eternity, scraping for scraps of joy. You were meant to stand tall, to walk as one who carries light. Even your wounds, the ones you hide from the world, glow with heaven's fingerprints. There's a story told among the wise that when a warrior of faith has fallen in battle, heaven does not rush to lift them. It waits for one small motion, a twitch of the hand, a flicker of the heart that says, "Be still, believe." The moment that motion appears, angels surround them, not to rescue, but to remind them of their crown. You, chosen soul, are in that moment now. The earth beneath you has felt the weight of your struggle, but it's time to push against it. Rise not because you're ready, but because grace has declared you able. Rise. Even if your knees shake, rise, because the same power that lifted Jesus from the grave breathes inside your lungs right now. When you stand, the atmosphere around you changes. The darkness that once mocked you begins to back away. Every lie that said you were too broken loses its grip. The ground remembers who it's holding, and creation itself adjusts to your awakening. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are a vessel of destiny. Look around. There is beauty waiting to meet you once you lift your eyes. The sunrise doesn't beg you to notice it, it simply shines. So too, your light does not plead for permission. It exists by decree. The moment you decide to rise, heaven orchestrates an entire dawn to match your decision. And as you stand, something within you softens. The pain no longer feels like punishment. It feels like proof that you've lived, that you've loved, that you've endured. You realize that rising is not rebellion, it's worship. To rise is to say, "You're not finished with me yet, God." Oh, there will be days when standing feels like a mountain. But remember, mountains move for those who dare to stand before them. You don't need to know the next step. You just need to take the first one. The rest unfolds as you walk. Now, pause. Feel the weight of this truth. You are not waiting for the light. The light is waiting for you. Every sunrise since your birth has been a rehearsal for this very moment. The earth itself has been whispering, "Get up. It's time." And when you do, when your soul straightens and your heart opens, the world will feel it. Your rise is not small. It shakes atmospheres. It sends ripples through generations. You were never meant to rise alone. Your courage gives others permission to do the same. If this message touches that hidden corner of your heart, where faith still flickers like a fragile flame, don't suppress it. Let it burn a little brighter. If you feel the warmth of that light, let your response be gentle. Lift your hand to your heart. That's your way of saying yes. And if the moment moves you deeper, let it flow into action. Press like, as if lighting a candle. Share this flame, so others may find the dawn. And subscribe, as one who chooses to walk continually in the light. Let these gestures be worship, not habit silent acts of surrender that say, "I rise." Your rising is not for applause, it's for alignment. Somewhere, heaven records this moment, the second you chose to stand again. So rise, light bearer. Rise until the memory of darkness trembles at your name. Rise until your story becomes a lighthouse for others lost at sea. Like the phoenix rising from its ashes, you are proof that endings are only beginnings, wearing disguise. The dawn is waiting, and the world will never be the same once you stand. There is a holy exchange that takes place when night meets dawn. It is quiet, unseen, but it changes everything. The darkness does not argue with the light, it simply yields. That's what is happening in you right now. The weight of your pain, the long ache of waiting, the disappointments that once defined you, they are being traded for purpose. Heaven is preparing an exchange so divine that only your heart will understand it. You've carried burdens you never spoke about, smiled through storms, hid your tears so others wouldn't worry. You thought God was silent during those long seasons, but He was measuring every tear, collecting every sigh. The ledger of heaven keeps record not to shame you, but to make sure nothing is lost in translation between pain and promise. It was proclaimed in the letter to the Romans, chapter 8, verse 28. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. That is not a cliché, it's a divine law. Nothing you've endured is wasted. Every betrayal that cut deep, every delay that made you question, every moment of loneliness, they were all deposits into your destiny. God never takes without the intention to restore in multiplied measure. What was taken from you is now being weighed on heaven's scale, and the balance is tipping in your favor. A seed cannot remain a seed and still fulfill its purpose. It must be buried, broken, and transformed before it ever reaches sunlight. You, too, have been buried not in punishment, but in preparation. The darkness you've known has not been your grave, it has been your greenhouse. This exchange is sacred because it doesn't happen in a crowd. It happens in solitude. On quiet nights, when your prayers sound like whispers and your strength feels thin, heaven bends closest. God doesn't ask for perfection in this moment, only for surrender. There is a divine transaction happening even as you read these words. Your tears are becoming seeds. Your weariness is being traded for wisdom. The questions that once broke you are turning into keys that unlock peace. You are not losing yourself. You are being refined into the version heaven always intended. A man once told a story of how he lost everything: his job, his marriage, his confidence. For months, he begged God for restoration, but all he found was silence. Then one night, he realized what he truly wanted wasn't the life he lost, it was the life he was meant to live. That night, he prayed differently. Instead of saying, "Give me back what was mine," he whispered, "Take what's yours and make me new." Within a year, doors opened that he hadn't known existed. He didn't get back what was taken, he received what was promised. That is the kind of exchange God offers, never a return to the old, always a release into the new. Look at your own story. You have outgrown old pain without even realizing it. The things that once broke you no longer have power. That is transformation. Every piece of your past is being rewritten with purpose. This is your midnight exchange. Not everyone will understand it. Some will think you've simply moved on. But you'll know better. You'll feel it deep in your spirit, the shift from grief to grace, from burden to blessing. Heaven doesn't need applause. It only needs your quiet agreement. Take a deep breath. Inhale, peace. Exhale, fear. That simple act is worship. It's your way of saying, "Yes, Lord, I receive the exchange." No, there's something about divine timing that always feels sudden, even though it's been building for years. Tonight is one of those moments. You may not see the full picture yet, but the transaction has already begun. The angels are recording it. The heavens are aligning it. And your soul can feel it. So if your spirit stirs as you read this, don't ignore it. Let that stirring be your confirmation. Let your soul whisper the truth that your mind can't yet articulate. The exchange has begun. And when you're ready, make this moment tangible. Comment 2222 below. Not as superstition, but as a symbol of surrender, a sign that your heart agrees with heaven's trade. Imagine those 4 twos as 4 stars standing in a line above your night sky, guardians of the covenant between your pain and your promise. Every number carries intention. This one speaks of double portion, double peace, double purpose, and of alignment so precise that even the stars bear witness. It is heaven's quiet reminder that nothing surrendered in faith ever returns empty. The darkness is lifting. The trade is complete. What was heavy is now holy, and what was lost is now light. Heaven has taken your sorrow and handed you destiny in return. There is a sound that the spirit world recognizes, the sound of chains beginning to shatter. It does not come from noise or violence. It begins with a quiet shift inside the soul. You may not hear metal breaking, but you feel the release. The heaviness that once sat on your chest starts to lift. And suddenly, you realize that what held you for so long no longer fits. This is the season when what once imprisoned you loses its authority. Every invisible chain, fear, guilt, shame, comparison begins to fall, link by link. The breaking doesn't always feel dramatic. Sometimes it feels like peace where there used to be panic, strength where there used to be shaking. Freedom is rarely loud. It often walks in softly, like dawn entering a dark room, as recorded in the Acts of the Apostles, chapter 16, verse 26. Suddenly there was such a violent earthquake that the foundations of the prison were shaken. At once, all the prison doors flew open, and everyone's chains came loose. And the same power that shook Paul and Silas's prison walls is moving through your life even now. Their story began in confinement, but ended in worship. That is the pattern of heaven. What begins in restriction always ends in release. There's a moment when the soul finally realizes the door has been open all along. You were never meant to stay where pain left you. The prison was real, but it was temporary. The key was never in the hands of your captors. It was in your praise, in your resilience, in your decision to believe that you were made for more. Freedom rarely starts outside, it starts within. You can leave a locked room and still carry invisible chains. But when your heart unlocks, the whole world opens. God is not just setting you free from what bound you, He's freeing you to walk into what you were created for. Think back to the times you thought you'd never escape. The relationship that drained you, the failure that branded your confidence, the mistake that echoed in your mind. You survived those places not because you were strong, but because grace refused to let you rot in your own despair. Grace doesn't just forgive, it rescues. One woman once said, "I didn't know I was in chains until I stopped apologizing for existing." That's what divine freedom feels like. It's not arrogance, it's acceptance. The moment you stop shrinking for others is the moment you realize you've already been set free. Chains often disguise themselves as comfort. Familiar pain feels safer than unknown peace. That's why many never leave the prison they decorated. Justify it. Name it, my truth. But God is calling you out of what you've normalized. The cage you call security is the very thing suffocating your wings. You cannot be both caged and crowned. Freedom requires release. It asks you to drop the identities you built to survive. The strong mask, the silent smile, the "I'm fine." All of it must fall. For the new to arrive, the false must leave. Heaven cannot fill hands that refuse to open. Close your eyes and picture this, a heavy chain around your wrist. Cold, unrelenting, familiar. Then imagine light touching it, just one beam. Warm and pure. The metal warms, softens, melts. It doesn't explode, it dissolves. That is how heaven frees you, not through destruction, but through transformation. The same fire that refines gold now touches your story. You will notice small signs of this freedom. Peace where there was confusion, rest where there was striving, laughter returning after silence. You will find yourself breathing easier, no longer rehearsing the pain of yesterday. That's what happens when the chains fall. They don't just release your body, they restore your song. Freedom doesn't mean life will be perfect. It means the past will no longer dictate the rhythm of your future. It means you can stand in the same place that once broke you and feel no bitterness. It means you can look back without bleeding. When chains break, you begin to walk differently. Your steps sound like victory. Even your silence becomes worship, because it no longer carries fear, it carries gratitude. The earth beneath you is shifting, like a cell door unlocking. You can almost hear it, the sound of release echoing through your spirit. This is the moment when heaven rewrites your story from captive to conqueror. You are free, not because the world says so, but because the one who made the world declared it. The door is open. The chains are gone. Step forward. The sound of your freedom is already filling the air. And when you step through that open door, don't look back. The past will call your name, but it no longer has the right to claim you. The echo of old pain fades the moment your feet touch freedom's ground. Walk forward with calm strength. Heaven has already erased your chains from its memory. Fire has always been heaven's way of transforming what it touches. It can destroy, but it can also refine. In Scripture, fire is never merely heat. It is holiness in motion. It comes not to burn you away, but to burn away what cannot stay. The visitation of fire is both fearsome and beautiful, because it reveals who you truly are beneath the dust. You may not realize it, but you have been walking through fire for some time now. The challenges that scorched your patience, the tests that stripped away comfort, the heartbreaks that left you raw, all of them were flames with a purpose. They were not sent to consume you, but to consume what was never meant to define you, as declared in the book of Haggai, chapter 2, verse 9. The glory of this present house will be greater than the glory of the former house, says the Lord Almighty. Those words were not just a promise to a nation rebuilding. They are a prophecy over every life that has endured burning seasons. The fire may have changed your shape, but it has not erased your worth. You are becoming something stronger, something heaven can use to carry glory that cannot be contained by the ordinary. There was once a craftsman who worked with silver. When asked how he knew the metal was pure, he smiled and said, "When I can see my reflection in it." That is what God does with his chosen ones. He refines until his reflection is visible in you. The heat is not hatred, it is attention. Only those chosen for glory are placed in the hottest flames. You have probably felt that refining, when you lost what you thought you needed most, when you prayed and silence answered, when every plan you made turned to ash in your hands. Yet, somehow, even there, something within you refused to die. The reason is simple. The fire was never sent to end you. It was sent to awaken the gold hidden under layers of fear. Sometimes, heaven's fire looks like loss, but if you pay attention, you'll see renewal rising from the ashes. The job that slipped away taught you to trust provision, not position. The relationship that broke your heart revealed that your value was never dependent on someone else's ability to see it. The season that emptied you prepared room for overflow. The fire always leaves traces, charred memories, scorched expectations, but it also leaves light. You begin to glow differently. People notice peace where pain used to live. They see strength where uncertainty once lingered. They see you standing in the same place that once hurt you. But this time you are radiant. That glow is not pride. It is proof that you survived the refining. Think of Moses. When he stood before the burning bush, the fire did not destroy the bush. It illuminated it. The flame revealed the divine presence already there. So it is with you. The flame in your life is not punishment. It is presence. It is God revealing himself through your endurance. There is something sacred about people who have walked through fire and still carry kindness. They become living lanterns, carrying light for others who are still wandering in smoke. The fire refines not just for you, but through you. The warmth you now carry is meant to comfort those still trembling in the heat. Do not despise your burning season. Every spark is a sculptor. Every flame shapes your purpose. Even the parts of your story that still sting are working to reveal your reflection of divine strength. When the refining is done, you won't just survive, you'll shine. The residue of fire is glory, not grief. You'll find yourself speaking differently, walking lighter, seeing beauty where others see ruins. The ashes under your feet will no longer remind you of pain, they will remind you of resurrection. Look closely, and you'll see that even the embers still glow with promise. The fire that once threatened to consume you now bends to your purpose. It bows before what it could not break. Let the flames finish their work. Let the heat reveal the gold. The visitation of fire is heaven's way of saying, you are ready to carry more. You are no longer fragile glass, you are forged metal, radiant and unyielding. And when the smoke finally clears, you will understand the fire was never against you. It was for you, and now it burns within you. You will carry that flame wherever you go. It will not roar like wildfire, but glow steadily, guiding others who still walk through the dark. Your calm presence will speak louder than sermons ever could. And when someone asks how you endured, you'll simply smile and say, the fire didn't destroy me, it discovered me. For that is the secret of the chosen. They burn, yet they never burn out. Heaven has been speaking your name. You may not have heard it audibly, but the evidence is everywhere in the way doors began to shift, in the sudden peace that followed confusion, in the opportunities that seemed to appear out of nowhere. It is no longer a question of whether God sees you. He has called your name in the throne room, and that sound has echoed through the realms until it reached you. When heaven speaks your name, everything around you begins to listen. The ground recognizes your footsteps differently. Circumstances start to align, not because you forced them, but because heaven has set your frequency in motion. You are no longer hidden, you are positioned. The revelation of John, chapter 2, verse 17. Declares, to the one who is victorious, I will give a white stone with a new name written on it, known only to the one who receives it. That is not a metaphor, it is a mystery. The white stone represents identity purified through trial. The new name represents destiny sealed in heaven. Every chosen one has a sound, a vibration that resonates through creation. When that sound is spoken, darkness retreats because it recognizes divine authority. There is a shift that happens when God calls you by name. It is not the name given by people, but the one written in glory. It carries weight, light, and authority. It announces to heaven and to hell alike, this one belongs to me. Maybe you felt that pull lately, the sudden urgency to step into something greater, the strange stirring that won't let you rest. That's not anxiety, that's recognition. Your spirit is responding to its true name. There's a story told about a shepherd who called to his sheep in the middle of the night. Dozens of voices shouted from every direction, but only his flock moved. Why? Because they recognized his tone. You are the same. You've been hearing so many voices, fear, doubt, regret, but only one of them carries peace. That is the voice of your shepherd calling you back to alignment. When heaven calls your name, it doesn't just invite, it awakens. Memories of who you used to be fall away. Old labels, false titles, the expectations of others, they lose power. The voice of God doesn't ask for your permission. It reminds you of your position. You are not a mistake trying to fix itself. You are a miracle remembering itself. Every time you hear that inner whisper that says, there's more, understand that it's not ambition, it's confirmation. The same way Lazarus rose when Jesus said his name, your spirit rises when God speaks yours. The grave of old limitations cannot hold a soul called by heaven. You have walked through seasons that tried to rename you failure, rejection, fear, but heaven has always kept your true name safe. The world called you broken, heaven called you chosen. The world called you unworthy, heaven called you redeemed. And now that divine name is beginning to echo louder than the noise of your past. There is power in knowing that heaven recognizes you. It means your prayers are not random, they are conversations. It means your tears have been interpreted correctly. Even when your words failed, you have been seen, called, and appointed. Every time you stand in faith, that name grows brighter in the unseen world. Listen closely. Can you feel it? That subtle vibration in your chest. That peace rising where fear once lived. That's heaven pronouncing your identity again. You are no longer anonymous to eternity. When you move in obedience, the atmosphere around you shifts. Heaven's echo follows you into rooms you never imagined you'd enter. People will not understand the favor that begins to follow you. But you will know it's not luck, it's recognition. So let this truth settle deep within you. God has spoken your name. And once heaven says it, nothing on earth can silence it. Comment. Name confirmed. M. Write it as your seal of recognition. These two words are not about pride, they are about remembrance. When you type them, you're declaring, I agree with what heaven calls me. You're affirming that your identity no longer comes from pain or people, but from the voice that spoke creation into being. Let that be your answer to the call that has echoed since the beginning of time. He called. And now you answer, name confirmed. When you write name confirmed, you're not claiming perfection, you're acknowledging revelation. It means you finally recognize yourself the way heaven always has. It's your agreement with divine authorship. A quiet but powerful yes that heaven registers instantly, and as that declaration leaves your fingertips, it becomes a spiritual signature, your way of saying, I remember who I am. Every echo of doubt fades, and heaven smiles, whispering, finally, they've heard their name. Something is opening. You can feel it, the shift in the air, the subtle pull forward, the sense that what was once locked is no longer sealed. For a long time, you've stood before doors that refused to move. You've prayed, knocked, waited, and wondered if heaven heard your hand against the wood. But tonight, something different stirs. The hinges groan, and a light begins to spill from beneath the frame. This is not just any threshold. It's the door, the one you've dreamed of. The one that connects who you've been to, who you are becoming. Every step you've taken, every tear, every delay has led you here. The waiting wasn't wasted, it was alignment. The right door doesn't open until your spirit has grown strong enough to walk through it. As recorded in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 7, ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and the door will be opened to you. You have knocked faithfully, even when silence answered. But the sound of your persistence has reached heaven's ear. The door of destiny doesn't respond to force, it responds to timing. And now, heaven's timing has arrived. There's a story about a traveler who reached a gate carved from stone. Every attempt to push it open failed. He shouted in frustration until he heard a whisper behind him. It only opens when you carry peace. The traveler took a deep breath, released his anger, and the stone moved. Sometimes, the key is not in your hand, it's in your heart. The moment you release fear, the door recognizes you. You've been prepared for this opening. Every lesson, every fall, every hidden season has shaped you into the one who can walk through and not crumble. Doors are sacred places. They separate old chapters from new ones. That's why they open slowly, with weight and wonder. What's behind this one isn't a small opportunity. It's a divine unveiling. When God opens a door, it doesn't squeak or creak in hesitation. It sings. The very air around it hums with purpose. You'll know it's Him, not because it's easy, but because peace will guard your steps as you move. Pause for a moment and imagine it. A vast doorway carved with light. The wind of heaven moves through it, carrying the scent of beginnings. You stand before it with trembling hands, not out of fear, but awe. You realize this door doesn't just lead you forward, it reveals who you've become while waiting. There's something poetic about divine doors. They never swing open to applause, they open to silence. Because holy things rarely announce themselves, you will step through quietly, and the world will notice later. People will call it sudden favor, overnight success, but heaven will know the years it took to prepare this moment. Some doors require strength, others require surrender. This one needs both. You must walk forward in courage, but with an unclenched heart. You cannot carry resentment, pride, or fear through this frame. They will not fit. The space beyond is reserved for those who travel light. Look behind you for a moment. See how far you've come. The path that once felt endless now glows with purpose. You didn't walk in circles. You traced a spiral upward. Every loop brought you closer to this opening. You were never lost. You were being lifted. And now, as the light widens, you'll notice something subtle. The door doesn't open to you, it opens with you. Heaven moves as you move. The door responds to your decision to trust. You are free to stay on this side, but your destiny waits on the other. The choice is sacredly yours. God never forces a step, He invites one. If this moment stirs something deep within you, don't rush it. Let gratitude arise, like morning light. Let reverence fill the space between your breaths. And if your heart feels ready, if your spirit whispers yes, then make it tangible. Press like, as if placing your palm against the glowing wood of the door. Share this light so others can find their own threshold. And subscribe as your quiet promise to keep walking toward divine horizons. Let these acts be more than gestures. They are the gentle turn of a handle, the silent opening of faith. Each act becomes a symbol. The like ignites your lantern. The share opens another soul's door. The subscribe marks your name in the traveler's book of light. These are not commands, they are invitations. Sacred echoes of choice. You are not standing before an ordinary door. You are standing before a living gate, breathing, waiting, radiant, like a lighthouse door opening onto the sea of dawn. This is the entrance where courage meets calling. So breathe deeply, steady your heart, and cross the threshold. The door of destiny has opened, not because you demanded it, but because you became ready for it. Power feels different when it's divine. It doesn't shout. It doesn't demand. It settles quietly on the shoulders of those who have been through fire and remained faithful. You have reached a point in your journey where heaven begins to clothe you, not in comfort, but in authority. It's not the kind that controls, it's the kind that carries peace. You may not have noticed it yet, but your spirit has grown. Where fear once guided your steps, discernment now leads. where doubt once tangled your words. Confidence now flows like calm water. This is not pride, it's placement. You have been entrusted with something invisible but undeniable, divine authority. The Book of Joshua, chapter 1, verse 9, reminds us, "Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." And authority begins when you understand that you are not walking alone. Heaven's presence is not a distant force, it is a constant companion. Each time you speak truth, forgive when wronged, or choose love over bitterness, you are exercising spiritual power. True authority doesn't come from titles or recognition, it comes from alignment. There was once a man who lived quietly, never seeking attention. But when he spoke, even his enemies listened. Someone asked him, "How did you gain such influence?" He replied, "I learned to listen before I spoke. When heaven's voice leads, human hearts follow. That is divine authority, words that carry the weight of heaven because they are born from obedience. You are being wrapped in that same mantle. It doesn't arrive with fanfare, it arrives with responsibility. Power without humility becomes corruption. But authority, anchored in compassion, becomes healing. The mantle on your life is meant to protect, not to dominate, to restore what the world has broken. There's a quiet shift happening in your countenance. People will begin to sense it. They may not understand it, but they'll feel it the way your presence settles storms, the way your peace diffuses chaos. That is the mark of one who carries heaven's weight with grace. You don't have to announce your authority, it announces itself. Look back at where you came from. Remember the nights you felt powerless, the days when your voice shook and your prayers felt small. Now see how far grace has brought you. The same lips that once whispered despair now carry declarations of hope. The same hands that once trembled in fear now heal with kindness. You have been transformed from a survivor into a steward of strength. Authority is never given to bypass weakness. It's given because of it. God uses those who know what it feels like to fall, so they lead with empathy instead of ego. You are not powerful despite your scars. You are powerful because of them. Each scar is a seal, a sign that you endured and remained soft. Heaven trusts the hearts that break but do not harden. In the unseen world, authority looks like light expanding. Each act of obedience widens your radius of influence. Every time you speak truth, darkness loses ground. That is spiritual warfare in its purest form, not fighting for power, but carrying peace into places that have forgotten it. Sometimes, your authority will be misunderstood. The humble always are. People might question your calmness, mistake your silence for weakness, or your kindness for naivety. Let them. Lions do not argue with echoes. You know who you are now, and more importantly, whose you are. There's an image heaven holds of you, standing tall, shoulders clothed in light, eyes steady with conviction. You are no longer reacting to life, you are leading it. Not because you demanded control, but because you surrendered completely. Paradoxically, that is where the highest power lives, in total surrender. This is your mantle of authority, invisible but undeniable. You wear it when you forgive those who wrong you, when you bless those who curse you, when you keep walking in purpose, even when no one claps. That quiet endurance shakes more realms than any sermon. As you step forward into the next chapters, Remember this, you don't need to prove your calling. The fruit of your life will testify for you. Your peace will speak louder than your defense. Your consistency will preach louder than your words. Heaven is not waiting for you to act impressive. It's waiting for you to act aligned. Authority is not noise, it's knowing. It's the stillness that makes demons flee, and the gentleness that heals the broken. And so, clothed in calm glory, you walk no longer chasing validation, but carrying revelation. You have become a living sign that true power does not conquer, it covers. And everywhere you go, that quiet strength follows like sunlight spilling through open windows. You don't force change, you embody it. The world feels safer when you arrive, because heaven walks in with you. Every covenant that God makes is written twice, once in heaven and once in the heart of the one who believes. Tonight, that covenant is being renewed in you. It is not a new promise, but a reawakening of the one that's always been there, waiting beneath the layers of disappointment and delay. You may not realize it, but heaven has been preparing this moment to remind you, His word concerning you has not expired. Sometimes promises feel like distant stars, brilliant, yet unreachable. You look up and wonder if they're still shining, if the light will ever touch your world. But just as starlight travels across years to reach the earth, divine promises take their time. What you are feeling now, the stirring, the warmth, the quiet faith returning, that's the light finally arriving. In the book of Hebrews, chapter 10, verse 23, we read, "Let us hold unswervingly to the hope we profess, for he who promised is faithful." And those words are not poetry, they are blueprint. God does not forget what He speaks. The same voice that breathed galaxies into being still guards the promises He whispered over your life. You may have wandered, you may have questioned, but His covenant remains intact. There was once a farmer who found his field cracked by drought. For months, he saw no rain, no sprout, no sign of harvest. Still, each morning, he walked his land and whispered, "The promise still stands." One night, he woke to thunder. The rain came, slow but steady, and when dawn broke, tiny green shoots covered the earth. That's what covenant feels like. It may look dead, but heaven remembers its schedule. You, too, have been walking across dry ground, wondering if anything sacred could still grow there. But the soil of your spirit has been holding seed this whole time. God does not plant without intention, and He never forgets His own planting. The tears you've sown were never wasted. They've been watering what your faith could not yet see. Renewal is not about returning to old promises. It's about stepping into their fulfillment. Some of what you thought was loss was actually clearing. God had to remove certain people, distractions, and doubts because they could not coexist with the promise's weight. His covenant requires capacity, and now you finally have it. Listen carefully. Heaven is rewriting your rhythm tonight. Where you once heard silence, you will now hear steady assurance. Where you once saw delay, you will now see design. The divine clock has struck appointed time. Then, this renewal isn't loud or flashy. It happens quietly between your heartbeat and your next breath. You will feel peace where striving used to live. You will sense clarity where confusion lingered. You will remember joy that once felt distant. These are signs that the covenant has reawakened. Do not measure God's faithfulness by human timelines. He is not late. He is precise. when promises seem delayed. It's not because he's forgotten, it's because he's aligning. Heaven does not release what the earth isn't ready to carry. Think of Abraham waiting beneath an endless sky, counting stars while years passed. Think of Hannah praying through silent seasons. Think of Joseph interpreting dreams behind bars. Every covenant tested by time is strengthened by trust, and every promise tested by patience is purified in purpose. You've carried his word through storms and silence. You've watched others receive while you remained waiting, wondering if you misheard. But tonight, God leans close to whisper, you didn't hear wrong. You just heard early. There is power in waiting. Waiting transforms you from a dreamer into a keeper of promises. You no longer chase fulfillment, you attract it, because you've become the kind of vessel that can hold it. So, as heaven renews its covenant with you tonight, do not rush to perform. Just receive. You are not required to fix anything. You are only asked to agree. The miracle unfolds when you stop striving and start trusting, and when your heart feels that quiet confirmation. Mark it with faith. Comment 5,555 below. Not as routine, but as remembrance. Let this number be your symbolic signature of agreement, the sign of grace multiplied and promise fulfilled. 5,555 represents divine alignment and change complete. 4 waves of grace, 4 winds of renewal, moving as one. Imagine them circling you now, sealing your life in radiant light. This is heaven's way of saying, the promise stands, the covenant holds, the time is now. You don't need to see the whole map, you just need to trust the compass. Every step you take in peace proves that the covenant is active. Heaven doesn't need noise to move, it just needs your yes. The rain is coming. The seed is still alive. The covenant has been renewed, and the keeper of promises has not forgotten your name. Somewhere across the earth, other lights are beginning to flicker. The same whisper that reached you has touched others, scattered souls, awakening in different corners of the world. It begins like a soft breeze through the trees, subtle but certain, gathering strength with every heartbeat. This is not coincidence. This is the gathering of the remnant for every generation. There are those who cannot sleep through spiritual silence. They feel the tension in the air before the shift comes. They sense when heaven is about to move. These are not the loudest or the most seen. They are the faithful, the watchers, the ones who keep their lamps trimmed through the long night. You are one of them. Zechariah, chapter 9, verse 16, records these words. The Lord their God will save his people on that day, as a shepherd saves his flock. They will sparkle in his land like jewels in a crown. The remnant are the jewels, the ones who shine, not because they seek spotlight, but because they've survived refining. You are part of something larger than yourself, a constellation of souls chosen to carry light into the darker parts of the world. You've been feeling this stirring for months now, that sense that something is being assembled, though you cannot yet see the full pattern. That's because heaven gathers differently than earth. God builds movements from hearts, not headlines. Picture a great tapestry stretched across eternity. Each thread is a life, each knot a testimony. Some threads cross paths, others run parallel, but together they form one design. The remnant are the golden threads, subtle yet luminous, holding the entire fabric together. You may not realize how much your endurance has held others, Your silent prayers have protected cities you'll never visit. Your obedience has rippled through lives you'll never meet. There is a deep truth here. You were never meant to walk alone. The illusion of isolation was part of the testing. You had to learn solitude before community, wilderness before family. Because when God gathers his remnant, he doesn't unite the unready. He joins the purified, those who know his voice and follow it, even when no one else understands. The remnant do not gather in comfort. They gather in calling. They don't meet through convenience, but through divine intersections. One day, you'll recognize them not by their faces, but by their spirit. When you speak, it will feel like home. When you pray, it will feel like fire, meeting fire. These are your people, the ones who have also wept, waited, and risen again. Each of them carries a different flame. Some are intercessors, some creators, some healers, some teachers. Alone, each light flickers. Together, they become a constellation that guides nations. The world might not notice at first, but heaven does. Every revival begins quietly, one surrendered heart at a time, until the collective heartbeat of the remnant begins to shake the earth. Imagine it, hearts across oceans beating in rhythm, prayers rising like synchronized waves. No borders, no barriers, only one sound, one spirit, one purpose. That's the symphony God is conducting now. The enemy fears this unity because it cannot be controlled. It is not built on ego or institutions. It is built on obedience. In the coming days, you will begin to sense connection in unexpected places. A conversation that feels divinely timed. A message that confirms what you've prayed. These are not coincidences. They are coordinates. Heaven is mapping the remnant, aligning hearts that will move together when the moment comes. You may wonder, why me? Why now? Because you've carried oil while others carried opinions. You've endured refining while others sought recognition. The light in you was never just for you. It was for the gathering. And now, the time approaches when that light will join with others to ignite something unstoppable. The remnant carry a specific fragrance, the scent of endurance. You can recognize them by the peace they bring, the steadiness in their voice, the quiet certainty that God is near. Their faith doesn't shout, it glows. Their joy doesn't demand attention, it lingers. You are part of that company. The same spirit that raised you through your wilderness is the same spirit drawing others to meet you at destiny's crossroads. You will not have to strive for connection. It will arrive naturally, woven by divine timing. The gathering is not the end of your story. It's the continuation of heaven's together. The remnant will rebuild what fear destroyed. Together, they will sing the songs that awaken hope in dry places. Together, they will remind the earth that light always finds a way. And when the time comes, you'll look around and see faces glowing like lanterns, eyes reflecting the same fire that lives in yours. You'll know then, this is the family heaven promised. The scattered have become the united. The forgotten have become the chosen. The remnant has found its voice. Every crown has a storm before it. Every destiny that carries weight must first withstand the wind. It is not cruelty, it is calibration. Before heaven crowns, it tests. Before it releases glory, it measures endurance. The pressure you've felt lately, the sudden resistance that seems to come from every direction, is not a setback. It is proof that you are close to coronation. The storm does not come to break you. It comes to reveal what can't be shaken. You've stood in the rain before, but this time feels different. The sky seems lower, the thunder closer, the wind colder. It's because the storm now knows your name. It has recognized the anointing you carry and is desperate to intimidate you before you wear your crown. The Book of Nahum, chapter 1, verse 7. Declares, "The Lord is good, a refuge in times of trouble. He cares for those who trust in him." Oh, that verse is more than comfort. It is strategy. The storm cannot destroy those who hide within the refuge. When lightning strikes, you will not be burned. You will be illuminated. The tempest is heaven's announcement that the season is shifting. In every story of transformation, there's a final test, a last wave before arrival. Joseph faced betrayal before rulership. Esther faced risk before favor. David faced Goliath before the throne. And you, too, must face the storm before the crown. The battle is not a contradiction of the promise, it is confirmation of it. When the wind howls and everything shakes, remember this: what is built on truth cannot be blown away. You have been anchored by years of unseen preparation. Every prayer, every quiet act of faith, every yes whispered through tears, they have woven roots deep into the bedrock of heaven's plan. That's why you haven't fallen. You might feel surrounded right now by confusion, by pressure, by unanswered questions, but you are not surrounded by chaos. You are surrounded by purpose. The storm is the sound of construction. What you perceive as resistance is actually reinforcement. Heaven is strengthening the foundation so your crown will not slip when it rests upon your head. There is a kind of storm that doesn't scatter. It gathers. It pulls clouds together, builds power, and then releases rain that makes the desert bloom. That's the kind of storm you are in. It's drawing every element of your journey into alignment, preparing a harvest that only the rain of testing could bring. If you listen carefully, you'll hear something beyond the thunder, a rhythm, almost like music. It's the heartbeat of destiny, pounding against the noise. Every flash of lightning reveals another glimpse of who you're becoming. The very chaos that once frightened you now feels like a forge. You can almost sense the crown taking shape. And though your body may tremble, your spirit stands still. Deep down, you know this truth. Storms are temporary, but the strength they birth lasts forever. You will not drown in this. You will dance in it. The waves that rise against you will soon carry you higher. There is beauty even in the violence of the wind. Trees bend but rarely break. They learn to sway with the rhythm of survival. You, too, are learning to bend without losing your roots. That flexibility is wisdom. It's what turns endurance into grace. Sometimes, the greatest miracle isn't that the storm stops, it's that you stay calm within it. You've reached that place now. The storm no longer defines your fear, it defines your faith. You've learned to trust not the absence of waves, but the presence of God within them, and soon, the clouds will part, not with fanfare, but with clarity. The air will change the kind of freshness that only follows heavy rain. You'll realize that the storm has cleaned what you couldn't, washed away what was clinging too tightly, and left the path ahead, glistening in morning light. Then, in the quiet, after the chaos, you'll feel it a weight, not of weariness, but of wonder. heaven placing something unseen yet undeniable upon your head. The crown doesn't make noise when it arrives. It settles softly, like a halo of recognition. You won't need to announce it. Those around you will simply see it in the way you carry peace through every situation. The storm before the crown was never meant to destroy it, was meant to distinguish. It separates the called from the chosen, the prepared from the pretending. You have passed through fire, wind, and water, and none of it was wasted. Every element bowed in service to your making. Soon, you'll stand in sunlight that feels different, warmer, mightier, truer, and in that moment, you will understand the storm was never your enemy. It was your coronation march. The air feels different now. You can sense it, the calm after the storm, the golden silence that follows when heaven finishes its refining work. The world hasn't changed much on the surface, but you have. Something invisible has settled upon you, light as breath, yet heavy with purpose. It is the moment all the storms have been leading toward. This is your crowning. You may not feel ready, but crowns rarely rest on those who expect them. They find the bowed heads, the quiet ones, the ones who kept walking when no one watched. Heaven crowns character before it crowns achievement. And tonight, that unseen hand lowers something holy onto your life. In the second letter of Timothy, chapter 4, verse 8, it is written, "Now there is in store for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will award to me on that day, and to all who long for his appearing." That crown is not made of metal, it is made of moments. Every time you chose grace over anger, forgiveness over pride, faith over fear, you forged another gem in that crown. The storms that tried to take you out only polished it brighter. You wear not the glory of survival, but the beauty of surrender. There's an ancient story about a young warrior who returned from battle, head hung low, armor scratched and dented. His mentor looked at him and smiled, saying, "You fought well. You no longer wear armor, you wear authority." That's what your crown represents. You are no longer fighting for identity, you are walking in it. Your crown may not glitter to the world, but heaven sees it shine. It doesn't rest on your head for others to notice. It radiates from your spirit, spilling into everything you touch. You will find that your words carry more weight. Your presence brings peace, and your silence speaks louder than before. That's how heaven crowns its chosen, subtly, steadily, unmistakably. And with this coronation comes responsibility. You are not crowned for comfort, but for calling. Your life becomes a message, a reminder to those still in storms that there is light ahead. Every crown is a commission. It calls you not to boast, but to bless. The oil that fell upon you was never meant to stop with you. It is meant to flow through you. Think of this crown as a lighted torch. You carry it now through the halls of human hearts, illuminating places that forgot what hope felt like. Your kindness will be your kingdom, your integrity, your scepter, your compassion, your crown. You do not need to shout that you've been chosen. You need only keep shining. And if your heart feels full, if something in you stirs at these words, then let that feeling rise gently. Don't rush it. Just breathe in gratitude. The crown you wear is not for display, it's for remembrance. Every time you act in love, you polish it. Every time you lift another, you secure it. You are stepping into a new rhythm now, one that carries both royalty and responsibility. Your path ahead may still hold challenges, but you no longer face them as a struggler. You face them as one who reigns. The difference is not circumstance, it's identity. And perhaps, as your spirit feels that subtle weight of glory, you sense a quiet nudge, the desire to give back, to pour out some of what has been poured into you. If you feel that stirring, let your gratitude become light. Press like as the gentle tilt of your crown. Share this message as the way light multiplies from torch to torch. Subscribe as a promise to keep walking in this same river of revelation. And if this message crowns your heart with peace, leave a sign below. Comment, "I wear my light." A quiet whisper of agreement between your spirit and heaven's echo. No pressure, no demand, just a beautiful exchange of hearts. Every act of kindness, every echo of love becomes another jewel set into your invisible crown. You're not performing, you're remembering. You're saying, "The light that found me will not end with me." Oh, and as this truth settles, imagine it, your crown shimmering like sunrise over still waters, reflecting not your glory, but His. The light catches every tear you've ever shed and turns it into radiance. The weight of the crown no longer feels heavy, it feels holy. So walk forward now, crowned and calm. You've made it through storms that once promised to swallow you, and now you stand radiant, unshaken, and free. You carry heaven's authority not in thunder, but in tenderness. And when you pass others who are still bowed beneath their storms, lower your head, meet their eyes, and let your light remind them the crown is coming. Every movement of heaven begins with a single obedient heart. What starts as a whisper in one soul becomes a wave that reshapes nations. You may think your steps are small, your influence limited, but in the divine story, a single spark can ignite generations. What God awakens in you never ends with you. The awakening has begun. You can feel it in the rhythm of the earth, in the way hearts are starting to hunger again for truth, for meaning, for light. It's not just revival in churches or crowds, it's renewal in kitchens, in classrooms, in quiet corners where weary souls look up and whisper, "There must be more." You are part of that more. The prophet Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 14, declares, "For the earth will be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Lord, as the waters cover the sea." That verse is not a distant prophecy, it is the pulse of what's happening now. The waters are rising, not to drown, but to cleanse. The knowledge of God's glory is spreading quietly, like dawn slipping through the cracks of every culture and city. And the ones carrying it are not the famous or the loud, they are the faithful, the chosen, the awakened, people like you. What began as private transformation in your heart is meant to ripple outward. When God renews one life, He plants a movement inside it. The peace you've found becomes the seed of healing for others. Your resilience becomes their roadmap. Every healed soul becomes a lighthouse for another. Imagine it a vast ocean at sunrise, countless drops of light shimmering on the surface, each reflecting the same golden hue. That's what heaven sees when it looks upon the earth right now. A multitude of glowing hearts, all lit by the same flame. This is how the nations awaken, not by force, but by illumination. It starts with compassion in one city, forgiveness in another, courage rising in a hidden village. It looks like mothers praying, artists creating, students standing for truth, business people choosing integrity, neighbors offering kindness. Each act of light joins the next until the world begins to glow from within. You are part of that sacred contagion of goodness. The awakening of nations doesn't need grand speeches or towering temples. It needs living temples. People who carry the presence of God wherever they go. The Spirit no longer waits for stages. He moves through streets, through conversations, through you. Sometimes you will see the results, a life transformed, a heart restored. Other times, you'll never know how far your influence reached, but the ripple always travels. Every time you walk in grace, you push darkness a little further back. Every time you love someone who feels unworthy, you shift the atmosphere around them. The smallest act can awaken entire destinies. And this movement, though quiet, is unstoppable. It's not driven by ambition, it's fueled by alignment. It isn't about being seen, it's about seeing clearly. You carry within you a frequency of heaven, and when others come near, something in them begins to resonate. They may not understand it, but they'll feel it, the peace, the steadiness, the clarity. That's how the awakening spreads, one vibration of grace at a time. There will be resistance. Every light that rises draws attention from shadows. But remember, darkness does not fight what it can ignore. The warfare around you is proof of the weight within you. Nations shift when individuals refuse to dim their flame. Don't underestimate what you carry. History is filled with ordinary people who said a single yes that changed everything. Noah built. Esther stood. Daniel prayed. You might never stand before kings, but heaven counts every small act as royal. You've been crowned not to sit, but to serve. The kingdom moves wherever your feet do. You will notice the signs of this awakening all around you. Conversations becoming deeper, people hungry for authenticity, children asking questions about purpose. Even creation itself seems to sigh with anticipation. The old ways of striving are breaking. The new rhythm of surrender is taking their place. This is not the end of the story. It's the beginning of the great unfolding. What God is doing through you will outlive your lifetime. The words you speak in faith today will echo through generations you will never meet. And one day, when heaven rewinds the story of this age, your name will be found among those who carried the spark, the ones who didn't chase power, but carried presence, the ones who didn't wait for permission to love, but did it anyway, the ones who believed that light could win, and lived as proof of it. The awakening of nations begins not with a shout, but with a whisper yours, and that whisper, carried by the wind of the Spirit, will travel farther than you could ever imagine. The final stretch of any divine journey is not about movement, it's about revelation. You are no longer striving to reach something outside of you. You are learning to recognize what has already been placed within. What began as a search for meaning has turned into a realization of identity. You have not simply been walking toward God, He has been walking through you. For so long, you looked for signs, confirmations, and wonders. But the greatest wonder is quiet transformation, the kind that happens without fanfare. You wake one morning and notice that the fear no longer has a voice. The wounds no longer sting, and the silence that once felt empty now feels sacred. That is what divine maturity looks like. Heaven has found a home in you. As the Apostle wrote in the second letter to the Corinthians, chapter 3, Verse 18, and we all, who with unveiled faces contemplate the Lord's glory, are being transformed into his image with ever-increasing glory, which comes from the Lord, who is the Spirit. And that verse captures your story. Every trial removed a veil. Every delay exposed another layer of truth. You were never abandoned. You were being revealed. God has been sculpting you from the inside out, turning pain into perception and suffering into strength. Transformation is never loud, it's layered. It happens in the still places where you learn to listen again. There was a time when you prayed to be delivered from storms, but now you pray to discern their purpose. That shift is the mark of wisdom. The moment the chosen one becomes a carrier of peace rather than a seeker of escape. Look back at the path you've taken. You began uncertain, clutching questions like anchors. Along the way, you learned to loosen your grip and lift your hands. You've seen mountains move, but more importantly, you've seen your own heart move from fear to faith, from survival to surrender. That is no small miracle. Your story has become a parable of process. Every waiting season became a verse, every victory a chorus. What once felt like broken chapters now read as sacred rhythm. The ink of tears has turned into testimony, and through it all, one truth has become unshakable. Nothing is wasted in the hands of God. There's an image heaven shows to those who endure a garden where once there was ruin, flowers rising from old stones, rivers flowing where cracks once bled dry. That's your soul now. What others saw as devastation, heaven saw as soil. Every ending was a beginning in disguise. You are living proof that resurrection is not an event, it's a rhythm. You've been learning to see through divine eyes, to look at impossibility and whisper, even this can bloom. To look at people not as problems to fix, but as promises in progress. That's the shift from believer to builder, from receiver to reflector. The glory no longer hovers above you, it radiates through you. And now, the voice that once called you chosen whispers something deeper. Now, go and be. It's no longer about waiting for divine moments, it's about becoming one. Every step you take from here carries heaven's fragrance. Every word you speak sows eternity into time. You are not simply living, you are weaving light into history. The transformation doesn't erase the human, it redeems it. You will still cry, still wonder, still ache, but now every emotion becomes an altar. You bring it all to the presence and watch it turn to gold. You've learned that holiness is not distance, it's depth. It's not about escaping the world, it's about embodying love within it. Even the mundane moments carry meaning now. A sunrise feels like scripture. A stranger's kindness feels like prophecy. You've realized that God hides himself in ordinary things, waiting for awakened eyes to notice. The divine has never been far. It was only faint until you tuned your heart to its frequency. There will still be mountains ahead, but you'll climb them differently now, not with desperation, but with devotion, not asking, "Will I make it?" but declaring, "He's already here." The summit is no longer the goal. The walk with him is. The story of the chosen one was never about perfection, it was about presence. And now, standing here at the edge of all, you've become. Heaven doesn't applaud your arrival, it smiles at your awareness. You've realized that the destination was not a place, but a person. And that person has been walking beside you all along. So breathe. The journey is not over, it's evolved. The one who began broken now walks whole. The one who searched now carries. The one who feared now blesses. You are the message now, the living gospel written in flesh and faith. And as the wind moves through your hair and the horizon glows with first light, you understand the quiet truth that crowns every chosen heart. It was never about finding God. It was about remembering you were never without Him. And now, as the final words settle, there is only stillness, holy, weighty, and full. You have reached the point where endings turn into echoes, where the story you've heard is no longer just a message, but a mirror. The voice that called you chosen has not faded, it has fused with your own. Heaven does not clap at the end of this kind of journey. It watches in quiet pride as you walk forward, carrying what you've become. You are light wrapped in skin, truth wearing a human heartbeat. Every moment that follows this one will be different because you now move with awareness. You are not waiting for divine intervention. You are walking as divine expression. The same breath that raised mountains now fills your lungs. Every word you speak from here will ripple farther than you can imagine. If this message has touched something deep within you, let it live beyond this page. Press like, not as routine, but as reverence, a way of saying, I have heard. Share it as one candle lighting another, a quiet gesture that extends the glow. Subscribe if your spirit desires to keep walking in this current of revelation, to keep remembering who you are and whose you are. Finally, before you go, leave a small trace of your journey below. Comment? Light continues, a phrase simple yet eternal. Because it does. The story doesn't end here. It expands with every heart that receives it. The chosen one walks on, crowned with peace, carrying eternity in every step. The horizon bends toward your radiance, and the light you carry today will ripple into tomorrow, soft as dawn, unending as grace.